to say that this year has been rough, I would say is an understatement. We've all experienced the unprecedented and unpredictability of 2020, but our Riverview neighbors have been impacted more than most people. 110 people on the street lost jobs within 1 week. And then childcare disappeared. School became a tremendous barrier for families navigating online learning with limited English. And it just seems like the hurdles keep coming. So, although we have had our share of heavy and hard conversations with our neighbors, what we've seen most is strength and resilience, coming alongside each other in whatever way that they can with a willingness to do what needs to be done. When people move to the US, they come with courage and ingenuity. They come with professional experience and with a drive to make their life better. It continues to be our privilege to point people in the right direction to best utilize their strength and resources. At the RIC, we are often frequently referencing relationships built between neighbors and staff and volunteers and interns, everyone all around. But this year has shown me personally another level of that. In January, my husband was diagnosed with aggressive B-cell lymphoma. And when he and I were spending weeks living in the hospital, I walked out of his room one morning to find Amel, who is someone who lives on Riverview. And actually, I was the one who helped her get this job. I had just forgotten that she worked the front desk at the James. So after that, she came by every morning to drop off sweets that she had made the night before. And then a few other Arabic speakers found out that we were there, and they would pop in and they would share about how Amel helped them get their jobs. And it was just this amazing opportunity to see the ripple effects of empowering people. If someone is empowered, then they empower others, and so on. So it was the beginning of an incredibly difficult journey for me and my family. I spent about a month and a half away from the center helping my husband, getting my kids taken care of. But when I returned, I was blown away by the amount of love and support that I received. He and I had been sharing our journey on something called Caring Bridge. And I found out that a lot of neighbors had read every post that we made, and then they would share the information with other people who don't speak English as well. Um, and so many people brought full meals when I returned, bags of fruit. But I have to say that my favorite was the amount of times that people would pull me into a big hug and have tears in their eyes and tell me that they're praying for me and my husband every night. So through this time, they have shown me how they help me carry my burdens as I am helping to carry theirs. As we celebrate 5 years of the RIC, yes, we're celebrating the jobs and acquired and the English learned and the citizenship attained, but we're also celebrating the relationships made. When I've spoken with our neighbors in this time of COVID, what I've heard so often is, we're really glad that we're not alone in this difficult season. When you're walking alone and you stumble, you only have yourself to catch you. But when you're walking side by side with others, linked arms, and if you stumble, then there are other people next to you to catch you. The RIC has shown itself more this year than ever before to be that support and also provide ways for neighbors to help each other. We've supported individuals by navigating unemployment benefits, and helping people get jobs. We've helped strengthen families by navigating the complications of distance learning and building our relationship up with Cranbrook Elementary. But one of the most beautiful developments has been how the community members have stepped up to help each other. In March, as families thought about how to pay rent after losing jobs, we put together a very short fundraiser, and what we found was numerous neighbors who hadn't lost jobs giving to the fund to make sure that their neighbors were able to stay in their apartment. And we've had neighbors volunteering regularly now, including 3 high school students that in the summer, they were the ones that oversaw our food distribution every week. So this community is closer and stronger because of COVID. I mentioned earlier some of the ways that we have helped people over this past year, but I wanted to highlight some of the ways that our two job specialists have been able to help. Even in the midst of COVID, the two of them have helped over 80 people get jobs since January. Emily Miller is one of those people, and we were able to hire her in April thanks to the generosity of the Franklin County Commissioner's Office. But just as we're seeing this program flourish and develop into what we had envisioned, the funding has ended. So they gave us the seed money to start this program, and it has proven to be incredibly important. One of the best ways that we can empower people who are new to America is by helping them get jobs. And so therefore, it's our priority to keep the program running. While I'm at the RIC, I often focus on making sure people's needs are met, and sometimes I can forget that the RIC is more than just meeting practical needs, that all of us are being changed by the relationships made. Back to my example with Amel, there is a ripple effect when people are empowered. Everyone who comes to the RIC either for help or to help is changed, and we want to invite you to be a part of that. So take a tour, volunteer, and give.